Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EUR/FX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look again on the Forex market. So, euro currency, it's interesting action today. It's just because it behaves a bit different compared to the cross-market rivals. So, if we'll take a look, for instance, on the dollar index, it shows a bit different price action. So, here you could see what's going on the euro currency with this a bit small retracement. Hadn't reached the previous lows, and market shows some upward action. On the dollar index, if we'll take a look at it, you could see that market mostly is returned back to the top, and it doesn't show any significant action to the downside. So here's we see definitely some divergence between the dollar index and the euro currency, which suggests that sooner rather than later, but they should converge to each other. And now it depends on what asset will gravitate to another one. So usually this is euro currency. Another reason why I do not really happy with this action is just because it's a bit contradicted to performance of the interest rate. So if we take a look at the 10-year yield, you can see what has happened in recent two sessions. So yield actually has completed. This was our 127 target, and we said later market probably will try to complete 1618 as well. It's because overall tendency with inflation and the interest rate dynamic is to the upside. And recently, within the recent two sessions, you could see what has happened. Just barely situation around the geopolitical problems has eased. Markets and investors turned eyes back on the domestic inner financial problems and recalled about the inflation. And you can see what has happened. Interest rates jumps. So this is in general supportive factor for United States dollar, and it definitely doesn't support the performance of the euro currency. So that's why I am a bit skeptic, or at least have some doubts on the reliability of this performance. So yes, it seems that market shows a bit higher action, but I would suggest that in current circumstances it would be better to see what will happen, because market now is flirting with the May city, which could give us a grabber today. And if this will happen, it just means that market should keep going lower. In general, retracement that we have suggested just because of the overextension of the market on the weekly chart to the downside, some pullback. This is logical stuff, but on intraday charts, it's interesting performance as well. So take a look what we have on the hourly chart. Our suggestion and analysis in the weekend was mostly correct. It's just because we have mentioned this confluence area. It's 109.90, 110 area. As we said, if you would like to take the short position here as downward continuation, that's the level that you could consider. And indeed, if you'll take a look at this ABCD pattern, initial pattern, market hits the COP right now here and has shown downward pullback. So if you have taken the position here, you either already have booked the result, or at least now out at the break even is just because market is returning back to the top. But take a look at the reaction here. In fact, we get first reaction on the level, and now market returned back up. So this is not bearish dynamic. So it's a bit different action, which keeps chances for upward continuation to the OP target. So as a result, we've got two different things on different time frames. On the daily chart, it might be the grabber, and in general performance of the euro currency stands a bit contradictory to performance of other assets, dollar index, interest rates, which mostly supports the idea that probably market should start downward action. At the same time, on the intraday chart, we see a bit different performance, which keeps the door open for a possible upward continuation. I don't know, maybe this will be this kind of the ABCD pattern to the OP in 1040. So since our initial attempt to go short now is done, so with this some result and probably some pullback has happened. Currently, at this point, maybe it makes sense to sit on the hands and wait, because here currently we do not have clear reversal action as on intraday charts, as on this hourly chart on lower time frames. And in such circumstances, maybe it makes sense to wait a bit and see what will happen, at least until the end of the session, or maybe until the Fed meeting, because here is probably, well, some maybe anticipation of the just 25 points rate change, or some more dovish comments expected from the Fed. It's difficult to say why euro currency currently shows some tactic bullish performance. So that being said, if you have taken position and you haven't booked yet, probably you could keep your stops on the break even. For new short position, I would wait a bit and wait for example, at least for a grabber, maybe on the daily chart, maybe for some other signs. Speaking about the bullish position, well, guys, currently I do not see also significant good context for taking the long position, just because we do not have clear patterns. If you will get, for example, a kind of the reverse head and shoulders right here, you could try to do this with this nearest standing target around the OP. But at this point, this more like action that should keep us aside from taking the new short by far, but it is too weak to make us to take long position. So this is what we see currently, and let's see how this really will resolve with a bit contradictive pride action of the euro currency and dollar index and interest rates.